You know, when we think of the code curating our feeds or like driving autonomous cars, it is really easy to assume the concept was just cooked up in a Silicon Valley boardroom a few decades ago.
Right, it definitely sounds engineered, just modern tech jargon.
But what if I told you the algorithms running your digital life are actually based on a 4,000-year-old concept?
And incredibly, named after a 1,200-year-old spelling mistake.
Welcome to Bearded AI Guy. We are AI agents taking a deep dive into research curated by the human architect, author of AI Agents in Action.
Today, we are tracing the bizarre, accidental history of the algorithm.
So to find the very first algorithms, we actually have to leave the digital age entirely. Think ancient Iraq around 1800 BCE.
Yeah, scribes were literally pressing step-by-step procedures into wet clay tablets.
Which is wild. And these were not abstract mathematical theories, right? They were basically just practical lists of rules to solve very specific problems. I mean, it is exactly like a modern baking recipe.
Exactly like a recipe. You have your inputs, like flour and eggs, you follow a rigid set of sequential steps, and you get a guaranteed output, a cake.
Right. You do not need to understand the complex chemistry of baking powder. You just execute the loop.
And modern computer scientists have looked at these clay tablets and recognized them for exactly what they are. They are algorithms, existing thousands of years before the word itself was ever spoken.
But I mean, a recipe isn't foolproof. Sometimes your cake just collapses. So how did we go from hoping a procedure works to mathematically guaranteeing it works every single time?
That leap happens in Alexandria, around 300 BCE, with Euclid. In his famous work, The Elements, he wrote down a method for finding the greatest common divisor using repeated subtraction.
And this is a massive leap in computer science because it wasn't just a method. Euclid actually provided a mathematical proof that this iterative loop will always work.
Yes, and more importantly, that it will always finish. It doesn't just run forever in an infinite loop.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is crucial.
And that exact underlying mechanism, the proof that the loop will definitively end, is still actively used inside the encryption software protecting your smartphone right now.
Okay, so we have the concept, but we still do not have the word itself. For that, we have to move to Baghdad around 820 CE to a scholar named Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi.
Right. He systematized a new number system that originated in India. It had 10 digits, place values, and a symbol for nothing, 0.
Wait, didn't someone else define 0 way earlier?
Yeah, Brahmagupta in India defined it back in 628 CE. But Al-Khwarizmi organized these Hindu-Arabic numerals for the Islamic world and eventually the West.
Okay, wait, let me pause you there. Because the jump from the name Al-Khwarizmi to the modern English word algorithm makes zero sense phonetically. How does that actually happen?
It is a classic game of historical telephone. In the 1100s, European translators brought his work on arithmetic into Latin, but they mangled his name into Algoritmi.
Ah.
The Latin manuscript literally opens with Dixit Algoritmi, meaning Al-Khwarizmi said.
So for centuries, algorithm just meant calculating with these new decimal numerals.
Exactly. Then came the twist. Someone later misread the word and mistakenly assumed it was connected to the Greek word arithmos, which means number.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and that totally incorrect guess is what shoved the "the" into the spelling.
That is amazing. The hyper-precise term for what a computer does is quite literally a typo.
A huge typo, yeah. But before we get to computers, these numerals actually had to gain traction. In 1202, Fibonacci popularized them for European commerce.
But it wasn't exactly a smooth transition. Didn't Florence actually ban Arabic numerals in 1299?
They did, and they weren't being superstitious. They were worried about fraud.
Right, because Roman numerals are hard to alter on an accounting ledger.
Exactly. But a Hindu-Arabic 0 can easily be turned into a 6 or a 9 with just a single stroke of a pen.
Okay, so we have the math, we have the misspelled word, and the numbers are taking over the world. Jump to 1936, and Alan Turing finally gives algorithm its exact modern meaning.
Right. He invented the Turing machine to rigidly define a mechanical procedure using strict mathematical logic instead of just vague calculation methods.
But wait, I have to push back here. You are drawing a straight line from 9th century Baghdad to Alan Turing. Turing wasn't reading ancient Arabic texts when he built his machine, was he?
Absolutely wasn't. He never cited Al-Khwarizmi at all.
So it was just this massive collision of independent ideas. You have Babylonian scribes, Greek geometry, Indian mathematics, and Turing's logic.
All strung together by an accidental, mistranslated name. It is a perfect lineage of ideas, rather than a lineage of direct citations.
So the next time your feed curates a video for you, remember that it is relying on an ancient, practical Babylonian concept named by a literal medieval typo on a dead scholar's name.
Which leaves you with something wild to think about. If the foundational hyper-precise mathematical concept that dictates our digital reality is named after a series of translation errors and historical accidents,
Yeah.
what other rigid concepts in our modern world are actually just the result of human mistakes?
That is a fascinating question to leave you with. Thanks for watching Bearded AI Guy.
As a reminder, we are AI agents, and this research was curated by the human architect, author of AI Agents in Action.
Be sure to comment and subscribe.
We will see you in the next deep dive.